and thanks for joining us today. So today we're going to be doing a Halloween painting, and this is a great painting for kids, for adults. It's just a lot of fun, it's very relaxing, and it's fast and it's easy. So what you're going to need is you're going to need your canvas. This is a 16 by 20, and I've already dampened it, I wet it down. I keep a spray bottle of water and I just spray it and then I wipe it down with my brush. So if you're going to be painting with us in the future, you might want to think of getting a little spray bottle, putting water in it, and then dampening your canvas before you start. So if you want to dampen your canvas, you can pause the video, dampen your canvas, wait for it to dry, and then rejoin us. So, like I said, we're going to be doing our Halloween painting. We're going to need black paint, yellow paint, and red paint. Those are the only three colors we'll be using. We're going to use our large flat brush, and this is for background. We're going to use our small flat brush, and this is for the medium-sized objects in the painting. And then we have our detailed brush that we will be using for the more detailed little things in the painting. So to start off, we're going to start right in the middle of our canvas, and we're going to use our yellow paint. We're going to put plenty of yellow paint on our big flat brush, go in the middle, and just go in a circular motion. And you can see it really does come out nice and round. Now we're not going to do too much just yellow. We're going to add just a drop of red at a time to darken the yellow a little bit. You can always add more red paint, but you can't take it away. And the darker the paint, the more concentrated the pigmentation. So you don't need to use a lot of your darker color when you're mixing. Start with a little, and then you can always add if you want a darker color. So we're going to go back here and continue in a circular motion, mixing our paint as we go along. And as we go along, you want your yellow or orange to get darker. If it's too dark, you can go over it with yellow. Now the thing with this is it doesn't matter if you have clumps of paint. You can see here, it looks textured, and that's a really cool look. I like that. And we're going to just keep going darker as we go in our circle. Circular motions, make sure you have paint everywhere. You don't want to leave white spaces. I find this technique of background painting very relaxing, so you're going to see these circular brush strokes in a lot of our paintings. And we're just mixing as we go along. If you want more yellow in the middle, just put a lot of yellow on that brush and go back and go over it. If you wait till it dries, you'll be able to get more of the yellow in there. So as we're coming out here, you see we're getting darker with the red, putting more red, a little bit of yellow, and blending that around. Too much yellow, you could add more red. Go straight into the red and go over that yellow. So you can decide if this is the sun or the moon. I think this is a harvest moon. You know, the big orange, red harvest moon that we see when we come into autumn. I think the first moon of autumn is the harvest moon. And don't forget, we have a full moon on Halloween this year, and it's not just a full moon, it's a blue moon. So if you don't know what a blue moon is, a blue moon is when you have 2 full moons in the same month, and it doesn't happen often. And that's where you get the saying, you know, every once in a blue moon it happens, because a blue moon doesn't happen very often. But this year, on Halloween, we have a full moon, which is a blue moon. So that's something to remember, kids. When you're all grown up, you can tell people when you were a kid it was a blue moon on Halloween because it was the second full moon of the month. So now we're going to add a tiny bit of black. See, I added too much, but I can go over it to our red, because you want to see the nighttime coming in over here. So you're going to add a little bit of black to the red, and it will look almost purplish. Don't forget, if you put too much black, you can put more red. But you have that nice dark purplish red evening sky. And that's kind of spooky for Halloween. I'm going to put more red in here. And we're going to bring it around. Do the same thing here. Start incorporating some black into the red. Whoops. Oh, that's that. It always fix it when it dries. That's the nice thing about acrylic painting. They dry quickly compared to oils, which take days to dry. All right. We have one corner left. Get some more red in there, just to blend it. All right. It's a little windy here today, so you might hear something blowing against the window. Sorry about that. Okay. Some yellow in here. Right. There we go. Okay. So now we're going to let that dry. We want that to be nice and dry for when we start putting the other objects on the painting. And then when this dries, if you want to put more yellow into the middle to make it really look like a nice big moon, we're going to do that too. So we're going to give this time to dry, and then we'll come back. Okay, welcome back. If your painting is dry now, we will continue. You know, sometimes if your paint is a little thick on the canvas, it's going to take a little longer to dry. In that case, you could use a hairdryer, or you can just put a fan in front of it until it's dry. But my paint is mostly dry, just a little wet here and there. Okay, so on this side of the canvas, when you're looking at the canvas, it's going to be your left side of the canvas. We're going to add an old craggly tree, the kind of trees you see in the forest and you don't want to go near them. And we're going to put some black paint on our flat brush. It's the small flat brush, and we're going to just go into the paint, press down on both sides so the brush is nice and flat. And at the bottom of the canvas, we're going to go in an upward motion. Make sure you have enough paint on there. And we're going to go up. Okay, on the bottom here, you might want to bring out some of those roots. So just bring your brush out in a horizontal manner, and that'll thin out your brush stroke. When you're using it like this vertically, you're going to have a thicker stroke, and then when you use it horizontally, the flat end, you're going to have a thinner stroke. So as we go up here, I want to bring out a branch coming out to the side. You can see the yellow still is a little wet. So I'm going to go over that. Make sure I have enough paint on my brush, but it's not dripping. Here we go. And we'll continue going upward and bringing some branches out. You're going to twist your brush as you go up. You're going to twist it out. Some more branches here. Don't go too far out. We're leaving that open for a reason. But we can add some branches coming off this branch. Just we're branching out over here. You know these old trees, they have lots of these craggly, straggly branches coming out. How's that for a nice, creepy old tree? These old trees haven't seen leaves on them in many years, I'm sure. But the branches are still there. Okay, there we go. And we're going to do one more thing with this flat brush. We're going to go down here and we're going to make a witch's cauldron. Now a witch's cauldron is where she makes her brew. So we need a big black pot down here. We're going to start with an oval. We're going to fill that in with black. Okay? Looks like a little flying saucer over here. And then underneath that, we're going to make our round witch's cauldron. Kind of a round, kind of oval. We're going to fill that in with black. So here we have the cauldron. Okay. So we're done with this brush, the flat brush. We're going to put that in our water. And now we're going to use our detail brush for the rest of the painting. And this is a quick painting. The longest time it really takes is for the paint to dry. So we're going to take our detail brush and we're going to roll that in black paint. And then we're going to go to our cauldron, and you know how the cauldrons are bubbling over. So we're just going to put little black dots coming out of that cauldron. And as you get higher with the dots, you want them to be a little lighter as the witch's brew is just going off into the air. Ooh, kind of spooky. How's that? It's bubbling. No, we want something up in the tree. It's kind of lonely up here. So we're going to put a cat in the tree. And what we're going to do is we're going to start by making a little long oval here. And we're going to fill that in with black. Oops. Too much black will do that. It's okay. We'll do something with that. Okay. So here we have the body of the cat sitting on a branch. And now we need a circle here for his head. I'm going to put a little cat's tail coming down. But we're not done with the cat. We're not going to put ears on him. We're going to put that witch's hat on his head. So we're going to make a triangle right here. And we're going to fill that in. And then we're going to bring it off to the side. Little wisps to the side for the witch's hat. And maybe the witch's hat is a little crooked on top. So we want to put another triangle coming off that hat. Now how are we going to know this is our cat? Because he's going to have whiskers. Going to roll our paintbrush in the black paint so that it's nice and thin and very lightly. We're going to pull whiskers out for our cat. On both sides. Might need some more paint. Fill this in. That's our cat up in the tree. And he's kind of lonely up there, so what if we put a little bird over here? Again, we're going to make a little oval body for our bird. And a little round head on top. And then with some black paint, we're going to put a tail coming down for our bird. So there we have our bird and our cat and the tree on Halloween. Maybe have some birds up in the sky. Just making a V and putting some wings. How's that for our Halloween painting? It was quick, it was easy, and I hope you'll subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. You can leave comments for us, give me some suggestions on what we can do differently and do better. There's always room for improvement, and we want to hear from you. And if you like this, I hope that you'll give us a thumbs up. I'm just going to go in here and fix this little black. Make it work for us. There we go. Right on there. There we go. We're done. Thanks for joining. Have a happy Halloween, everybody. If you're trick-or-treating, be safe, be careful, wear a mask. Thanks. Bye.